Good morning, Americans. This is your favorite alien with a special comment today, Friday, June 16th, 2023. Well, Americans, when I was in Panama, a young kid, around 1972-73, the Panamanian television station, Channel 2, we only had two channels at the time, or three if you count Channel 8 from SCN TV and the Canal Zone. But Channel 2 and Channel 4, Channel 2 had this special program that was done almost a decade earlier in Cuba, before it became Castro's Cuba, with a couple of Cuban actors that were pretty good at their trade. They were like the Abbott and Costello of Cuba. One guy's name was Aníbal de Mar. The other one's name was Leopoldo Fernandez, or Leopold Fernandez. And the program they created was a radio program they had created in their 50s, but they made it into a TV program, and when Castro took over, they moved over to Mexico and did it there, called La Tremenda Corte, the Tremendous Court. And in this case, Aníbal de Mar played the judge, and Leopoldo Fernandez played a character named Jose Candelario Tres Patines. And you guys from Latin America know who I mean, right? Cosa más grande en la vida, chico. Yeah. Well, they had all these cases that would come in, and Tres Patines was always the accused. Sounds like Donald Trump, doesn't it? Yeah. And you had all these accusers. They were sometimes his workers, sometimes his friends. That sounds like Donald Trump again. Yeah. Well, and the issues were settled under the judge, the tremendous judge, Aníbal de Mar. He also had secretaries, and they varied in the programs. But the accusers. You have Mr. Nada over there that's accused now. He was an accused witness, just like who was that? Ludecindo, remember him? He was a Mexican guy or a Spanish guy who was always involved with Tres Patines, but he was always a witness. Although one time he got caught, so he got the same penalty as Tres Patines. And Trump's got characters the same as they had in the Tremenda Corte. His attorney that became a witness and then went to jail, and now, he could be Patagonio Tucumán Bandoleon, who the actor played an Argentine guy, and he always said, Che viejo! And then you had Eric Trump and Donald Trump Jr., and they were also characters in the Tremenda Corte. And his daughter, unfortunately, was played by Luz Maria Nananina. Oh boy. And they were supposed to be witnesses. Now, Luz Maria Nananina is like his daughter, who didn't want to get involved, and the judge always used to push her, and she would say things that would incriminate him big time, even though she didn't want to. It was the judge's way of doing things. Aníbal de Mar had this special way of talking to people as a judge. And then you had the secretary, which reminds me of John Acosta from CNN, you know? The only news reporter that hasn't been fired from the old case of CNN being extremist leftists. John Acosta, he should get fired from there too. But anyway, he reminds me like the secretary. Pongale! Yeah, which in English translates to give it to him, because every time the judge says he's going to, somebody's out of turn, and he was going to fine them. So it's a multa, or a fine in Spanish. And he would say, póngale, póngale. And one time the judge says, y póngase usted, meaning the secretary, put yourself down for 10 pesos too for saying póngale. And at one time the judge, who reminds me of Eileen Callan, who's going to be the judge in this court, reminded me of when he really got mad at Tres Patines, because he couldn't stand what he was doing, and he knew what he was doing. And he said, oh, y póngame a mí 100 pesos de multa por lo que voy a hacer. Which meant, put down 100 pesos of fine for me because I'm going to do something dumb here. Yeah. And then he would go over there and clobber Tres Patines. Oh, you Americans don't know any jokes, and you know, Judge Judy's good, and your People's Court was good, but La Tremenda Corte, oh boy, that was good, and you Latins who have seen that, you know what I mean. Yeah. And you gotta admit that old Donald J. Trump fits Jose Candelario Tres Patines to a T. Oh boy. So, you know, this is what this trial is going to be. Judge Eileen Cannon is going to be La Tremenda Juez, or the tremendous judge. Yeah, like Aníbal de Mar. But is she going to say, póngale, póngale? And what's she going to say to the Luz Mania Nananina and Lucindo Carderio Escoviña and Che Viejo? You know, Mr. Patagonio over there? Yeah, what are they going to do to that? It'll be interesting to watch this trial when it starts. And the motions, it'll be like when the trial first started in La Tremenda Corte, where you set up the case and you figure out, okay, how did we get here? And they start this little story that comes before, and how you got to Tres Patines being on the accuser side, and all these witnesses being on the other side. Oh, yeah. And don't forget Mr. Jack Smith. He's going to be sitting out there somewhere, because he won't be part of the prosecution. He'll let somebody else do it. He'll be like that guard that was there. Rioleto! And Tres Patines will be over there talking to him, and sometimes even jiving at him. Oh boy, that's going to be fun. Anyway, Americans, this is what you got. El tremendo, el Trumpo Caso. Yeah. This is your favorite alien saying, good day.